Hello and welcome to our video tutorial. Today we're going to talk about using pan motion along with track motion. What's the difference? Well, if you remember, we used pan motion before to create movement within our video. And I'll show you here on my title here. I have one title that says on vacation, another one that says with Harvey, and we're going to play around with a pan crop, and then we're going to get into track motion, which is quite interesting as well. So I'm going to use our control for the zoom here and back it off so it gives me some room to work with. And remember, we used some keyframes to create movement, and we're going to make a keyframe today. First of all, our position for the first one is in the middle, and if I move this in slightly, we're going to create a keyframe of motion, and I think I'm going to rotate this. Let's rotate this all upside down here. And then we'll create another keyframe a little closer that puts it upside up. Let's find our circular. There we go. And let's see if that looks right here. We'll get that completely straight. We got to get that. It's a little tilted. There we go. Okay, let's run our scrub line back and see what we've got. You can see that it spins upside down. And that looks good there. Now we want to use the pan crop control for our second title down below it. And so we're going into the pan crop control now. We're going to zoom out. And what can we do with this? I think what I want to do with this is I'm going to bring this down like that. And then I'm going to bring my scrub line in a ways. And then I'm going to bring this up. Now let's see if we've coordinated this right so it lines up. I think I want to move that up just a little bit more on the bottom. So I'm going to get rid of that keyframe there. I'm going to right click on it and delete it. I'm going to bring this up just a little bit more. We may have to play around with this. Experiment in progress here. Let's see what that looks like now. That's better. Okay, so let's play that back and see what we have now. Okay, On Vacation is now spinning. Our second title is coming up. And are we satisfied with the speed of it? Well, it's kind of slow, isn't it? How do we speed that up? Well, that's quite easy. We go back to the pan crop, and we're going to move these keyframes closer to the beginning, and that just tells Vegas Studio to hurry up with the motion. Go a little faster on this. And let's do the same thing with the second clip. Left click and drag closer, so it should come up faster. Now we'll see what it looks like. That looks pretty good. Now, we talked about using track motion. How can we use that? Well, track motion will allow us to actually, like the name implies, move the whole track. And what I want to do is basically move both tracks. And I would either have to coordinate the two tracks, which is kind of tricky, but a much easier way is to make a parent-child relationship. And we're going to learn how to do that. We're going to go to our top track, and we're going to click on Make Compositing Parent. And we're going to look down here, and we're going to make this one a compositing child. And what does that do? That means that the child will follow the parent everywhere it goes. I wish our kids were that well trained. What do we do with the top track motion? The bottom track motion will respond. So let's go in our track motion control, which is right up here, the parent motion. Now, it's not the same thing as track motion. We want to go over to the parent motion because we want the child to follow along with us as we go. And we're going to be creating keyframes along the way here. This is going to be our beginning position up here. We could move it anywhere we want. This is the original position, and this is the exact perfect position that a track normally is. But we want to start off right up here, I think. just so we barely see it. Where are you at? There we go. That's going to be a first keyframe. And then we're going to move this in just slightly. And we're going to move that into the center. Now let's see how that affects. Now you notice that the With Harvey title followed right along with On Vacation. And let's see what happens now. Okay, the track motion is bringing this up to the upper right-hand corner. And the whole thing is following down in the middle while it's still doing the motion. Let's look at it once again. See how that looks. I like viewing my own clips anyway. Okay, this one's coming up as it's supposed to do. So now we've created motion not only with the individual elements, we've created motion on the track itself. And this is a way that you can animate all kinds of objects. You could do this with videos as well. You could resize the video and have them come in at different angles. That's track motion and making a parent-child relationship. And once again, you don't have to do a parent-child. You could have these working independently if you want to. That's up to you, especially if you had several elements at once that you wanted to follow along with each other. Boy, it saves a lot of time and effort. So that's our video tutorial on track motion and pan crop motion.